Of recent, I introduced you guys to a particular website that you guys can actually use for double chance, and I told you guys to actually review this site. And fortunately, one of our audience came back with his own review. He said he actually tried the strategy but used it in another dimension, and he actually explained in the comment section. And based on his own explanation, he actually used the strategy for over 1.5 goals. Now, what I told you guys in the last video was that you can actually use this site to predict or use it on different markets, and we actually use it on Omo with double chance in the last time. And I told you guys that in the next video I'm going to introduce you guys to another app or site which happens to be betmine, on how you can use the both team to score to predict over 1.5 goals, because naturally when you are predicting both team to score, that is automatic over 1.5 goals. And right now, this particular website, my bet today, and I'm very sure many of us are not new to this website. So this website, the one of the things that I like about it is the correct score accuracy. The you can use the correct score to get insight on the expected outcome of a particular game. So in the last video, we actually used the both team to score to predict home or away, and I told you guys that the home or away strategy is not like it is 100%, but based on my observation, it has been working out as 85%. Now, let us observe the review of one of our audience, that he said he won 14 odds, 45 odds, and another 14 odds yesterday using this particular site, both him to score to predict over 1.5 goals. And he explained to me the process of which he used to predict this over 1.5 goals. So the first steps, he actually followed the initial process, whereby you are going to look for games that are predicted by as both him to score on this site. So if you check the upper part of this site, you are going to see different markets there. So all this market that you guys are saying, you guys can actually make use of it for another market. But right now, what we are currently looking into is correct score and the both team to score market. The first rule about how to make use of this strategy is that you look into games that are expected to end up as both team to score, games like this. Second rule is that the both team to score percentage must be around at least maybe 69 or 70% and above, right? And lastly, the correct score predicted by the site must not be straight draw. It must not be 1-1, it must not be 2-2, it must not be 3-3, it must not be straight draw. It must be either maybe 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, and many more like that. It must not be straight draw. All right, so if what this audience is actually saying is true, we are going to review the yesterday games that were predicted by this particular site. And another additional thing that this audience actually mentioned is that after selecting games based on these criteria, he will now move further to check the both team last 5 games against other opponents. If these two teams had at least 4 over 5 of their last 5 games against other opponents, ending up as over 1.5 goals, then you go for the games as over 1.5 goals. So I think there is sense in this particular idea, in this particular theory, and I would like to validate it with you guys. All right, so we are going to look into some games that we have on the list from this particular prediction website, and we are going to follow these steps. And in addition to that, our audience opinion, and let's see the outcome. So if we have enough time, we can actually check yesterday games based on these criteria. All right, so we have some games on the list already, and the first one that I have, they have played already, and I think when I checked it earlier, they were playing, I think 0-3 or 3-0. So I won't need to check this one anymore. So another one that I would think I would like to check is this match. Yes, I actually predicted it as over 0.5 goal yesterday, but based on another consideration. But let us apply this particular strategy on it, because the match, they were playing 1-2 when I watched the when I was following the match. Now Don't forget the first thing that I said you guys should actually do whenever you want to predict your home or away double chance. But right now we are not talking about the home or away double chance. We'll be talking about the over 1.5 goals. So the first thing that you need to do whenever you want to check the game is that we are going for games that are predicted as both team to score, and don't forget I said the percentage for the both team to score must be around 70% and above. At worst it should be around 69%, right? All right, so the next thing to check is the correct score predicted. It must be home or away, either the home team to win or the away team to win. It must not be straight draw. So we have the correct score stipulated at 1-4 actually. All right, so the next thing that you guys can actually do is that look at this particular game. You need to check the last 5 games against other opponents alone. Against other opponents alone. Let's check if at least they have, maybe they had 4/5 of their last 5 games against other opponents, ending up as over 1.5 goals. Alright, so this happens to be the match. The match ended up as 2-2 this morning. So when I was following the game, they were actually playing, I think, 1-2. Now the match ended up as 2-2, that is over 1.5 goals, right? Even over 3.5. Now let's check their last previous games against other opponents. So for the home team, the last 5 games against other opponents, we can see unfortunately in their last 5 games against other opponents, just 2 games actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. And for the away team, in the last 5 games against other opponents, okay, we have 100% of the away team games against other opponents ending up as over 1.5 goals. So I'll just assume that the influence of the away team actually help the situation of the outcome of this particular game, because if you check very well, all 100% of the last 5 games of the away team actually ended up as both teams to score against other opponents. And I think maybe probably that is the reason why, one of the factors that influenced the outcome of this particular game, because the home team that we are talking about in this match, they don't score goals like that, and they don't really concede, and when they concede, it is the goal margin is always tiny. So that is it. All right, so let us check another game and let's see if this theory actually works well. So for this particular game, I will not assume that the game is the data that we have on it actually align with the idea that we proposed. All right, so we have another game played earlier this morning, right? So if we are to check the factors as we always check, the both team to score, yes. The correct score predicted 1-3, not straight draw. Okay, so let us check the percentage of the both team to score. You can see this is very, very low, so I would have avoided this particular game. But let me check the outcome of the game. Let me check the outcome of the game. You can see they are still playing at 90 minutes 1-0. So you can see the factors that can actually affect most of this particular game as over 1.5 goals. So let's keep observing. So we have another game here predicted as both team to score, and home or away, not a straight draw game. So let me check, and let us check the factors that we want to consider. So the both team to score percentage is around 60, so is not what we are actually looking for. So not what we are looking for. Let us check. Let's look for some of the games that we have today that are highly expected to end up as both team to score. All right, so let's look under this particular Indonesia league, and let us check some games that actually targeting naturally to end up as both team to score today. So let us check this particular match under the Indonesia league. You can see it was predicted as a both team to score, and at the same time you can see the correct score is not straight draw. Now the percentage that you are going to check, this one is around 67%. Actually, the percentage does not really meet up with the targeted percentage, which is 69 at worst and at the best 70% and above. But let us check the last 5 games of these teams against other opponents, and let's see if at all it meets up with the requirements. All right, so I have the game here. Let's check the last 5 games of the home team against other opponents, and unfortunately just 60% of the last 5 games of the home team actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. And let's check for the away team, and let's see the outcome that we have there. All right, so from the last 5 games of the away team, we can see that 100% of the last 5 games actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. So maybe probably the factors that actually affected the games that we checked earlier under the Australia League may actually affect the outcome of this particular game. But you know, the factors that we are considering currently is a very strict factor that can actually influence the outcome of the game. So I think using that particular factor may seems to be very difficult for us to get games in a day, but I'm still going to review most of the past games based on these factors. So let's check another game that has a very good and high percentage. And please, after checking this, I want you guys to follow the games and drop your own review after following the game. So if we can get up to like maybe 5 odd or 10 odds, just like that one of our audience got his own 45 odds yesterday, we can actually try and use this website to get our own odds and drop your review after doing that. So let me check another game before I leave this video. Let me check Qatar Star League. The score goes very well there, and I think yes, the score goes in Netherlands League also. Let's check this. This is 68%, very close actually, very close. This is 67, very close. Let me check Qatar Star League. So let's check these 2 games and let's see. All right, so perfect. So we have the both teams to score at 72%, and you can see the correct score prediction predicted happens to be 4-2. Now what we need to do next is to check the last 5 games. The last 5 games. Let's check the other game too against Qatar SC. This one also has 72%. So we are going to check the 2 games under the Qatar Star League, and let's see the percentage of their last 5 games against other opponents that actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. All right, so let's go to Qatar Star League. We have 2 games there today, and the first one, Al Shahaniya against Qatar SC. The home team last 5 games against other opponents. Right, so 80% of it actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. Good. And for the away team, in the last 5 games, 100% of the last 5 games actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. So I can actually say this particular game happens to be a perfect match for what we are actually looking for. A perfect match for what we are actually looking for. All right, so let's check the next game that we have under the same league. Don't forget, we are looking into 80% of their last 5 games against other opponents must end up as over 1.5 goals. So for the other one that we have, we only have 60% of their last 5 games against other opponents ending up as over 1.5 goals. And for the away team, 100% of their last 5 games actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. And do you think the factors that we are able to find in the away team can influence the outcome of the game? So if we want to be strict with this particular strategy, both sides must have 80% in their last 5 games against other opponents as over 1.5 goals. So let's say this particular strategy is very strict, and maybe probably it will be very difficult to find so many games like that. But I believe during the weekends, because we are moving towards the weekends whereby we have so many games to look into, so there is high probability that we can get something like 10 odds or more. All right, so for yesterday games that this our audience said he actually won some games, so I actually want to check some of the games that actually meet up with this particular criteria, or maybe probably that our audience was not as strict as I am currently. Maybe he was trying to consider games like 62 67%, 66%, but let us follow this particular strict process and let's see what we can get out of it. Right, so let me check games that played yesterday and that has these same factors. All right, so let's check out some of the games that actually played yesterday as both team to score. So the first one that I have on the list under the Australia League, let's check the percentage. Let's check. All right, so this happens to be 68%, actually very close to 69, and the correct score predicted happens to be 2-1, not straight draw. So let's check the outcome of the game. That should be under the Australia League. So the game actually ended up as 1-2, as you guys can see. And yes, I know Australia for being a league that the score goes very well. In Australia League, you experience goals over 1.5 goals and like that. So but their problem is just that they can be inconsistent with their scoring. So that is the only problem about the Australia League. All right, so we have some other games under the Bahrain Premier League, but I can remember that I actually predicted this particular game as over 0.5 yesterday, and it came out so well as 0.3. So let us check the factors that we are actually looking for. So perfectly, this happens to be 69% right, and the correct score stated 1-2, and the match actually ended up as 0.3. But I'm going to check the last 5 games of these two teams to see if the theory actually meet up with the factors in this particular game. All right, so let's check the Bahrain League. So this particular game, I actually predicted it over 0.5 yesterday for our rollover tips. So they are head to head, the last 5 games for the home team. So what I'm currently seeing here is 60% of the last 5 games of the home team actually ended up as over 1.5 goals, and for the away team, 80% of their last 5 games against other opponents ended up as over 1.5 goals. So probably maybe the influence of the away team actually helped the outcome of this game. Yes. All right, so let's see. So far most of the games that we've been checking have been ending up as over 1.5 goals. So far they meet up with the requirements stipulated. All right, so let's check some other games played yesterday. I don't think this actually meet up with the requirement. Let's look for some of the games that I actually checked earlier yesterday. Yes, one of the games that I want us to check, this Mumbai City FC, the game actually ended up as 1-0, I think, and I'm going to check if the game actually met up the factors. Yes, you can see this is 71%, right? both team to score, and we have it at correct score of 2-1, and the game actually ended up as 1-0. That is under 1.5. So let's check the last 5 games of both teams and let's see if this theory is actually accurate. Alright, so please kindly make sure that you pay attention to details in this particular video so that you won't make mistakes. Alright, so the game actually ended up as 1-0, and the game met up with all the factors that we consider. But let's check the last 5 games of the home team. You can see the last 5 games of the home team, just 2 games actually ended up as over 1.5 goals. Definitely, if you follow these particular steps diligently, you would have escaped this particular game yesterday. So the last 5 games of the away team, actually we have 100% of the last 5 games of the away team ending up as over 1.5 goals actually. So definitely the away team over 1.5 goals factor did not influence the outcome of this particular game. So we have the game ended up as 1-0. So that is unfortunate. So just make sure that you follow the process, you follow the steps strictly, and please kindly use this strategy to select some games, and I'll be so glad if I can actually get your review, because your review will really help a lot. Someone's review actually led to this particular strategy of over 1.5 goals, and I'm so glad it is really working out so well. So try it and drop your own review after the result. So don't forget to like our video, subscribe to this particular channel if you are just coming across it, so that you'll be getting daily updates regarding to some working strategies. And if you find this particular video helpful, kindly make sure that you click on the like button and drop your comments in case if you have any question regarding to the strategy. And if you want to join us on our private circle group on our WhatsApp, that's our WhatsApp group, and our Telegram platform, you are going to find all our platform link in the comment section and also in the video description. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.